Solve the equation. Remember to put your answers in increasing order. This is going to be a factoring situation, and you can tell by looking you have x's in common with all three. So what can you take out? Well, there's x to the fourth, x to the third, x squared. You can take out an x squared. And what's left over? You're going to have an x squared here because x squared times x squared makes x to the fourth. Negative 8x here because x squared times negative 8x is negative 8x to the third. And you're going to have a plus 12 here. X squared times 12 makes 12x squared. Close the parentheses, equals 0. So now we're going to factor what's inside if possible. Let's think about it for a minute here. Two numbers that multiply to make positive 12 add to make negative 8. So it could be negative 6, negative 2. Oh, those work because multiply to get 12, add to get negative 8. So it's going to factor like this. X squared times x minus 6 times x minus 2 equals 0. So x squared equals 0. X minus 6 equals 0. X minus 2 equals 0. Now x squared equals 0. You can solve by taking the square root on this one, and you get x equals plus or minus 0, which is x equals 0. And this is a repeated answer. Because there's an x squared, you actually have two of them. But it's okay, we'll just write it once, x equals 0. Add 6 here, add 6 here. X equals 6. Add 2 here, add 2 here. X equals 2. So your answers are 0 twice, which is repeated, and then 6, and then 2. So you're going to have x equals 0, 2, 6 in increasing order. That's an interesting little side note here. If you have two answers for the 0, one for the 6, and one for the 2, that makes 4 answers total. Notice that the degree here of the polynomial equation is 4. Now there's a connection between this degree and how many answers you get when you're solving. You should always get the same number of answers as the degree, including repeated answers. Even though you wrote 3, there were 4 answers because one was repeated and you had a degree of 4. So that's a good way to know that you got all the answers.